I feel like a newsreader with this desk. Good evening. What's happening, my fellow geeks and geekettes? Welcome to a brand new episode of Cosplay, Chris. And today we are talking episodes 6 and 7 of WandaVision. It's just a little recap and a quick little review as well as my thoughts. Now you're probably wondering about the different looking backdrop. Well, I've actually moved. So I am setting up a new backdrop at the moment in the study. So still have to get some furniture to put my trinkets on there, but for the time being, this will do. The lighting is beautiful in here. It's a beautiful day. So let's talk some WandaVision. But before we get to that, a word from the sponsor of this video. So as always, keeping with the theme of today's video, i.e. Marvel, I want to give a massive shout out to the sponsor of this video, Marvel Collect by Topps. So back in the day, I had the OG trading cards from Topps. Now it's all streamlined digitally and you can get, collect and trade cards with other Marvel fans worldwide. There's exclusive little perks scattered throughout the app to help you reach your collecting goals. So this month, Topps is hosting WinterCon, a free, fun, virtual event celebrating their full suite of digital collectible apps, including Marvel Collect. I'll be there to discuss all things WandaVision, cosplay, and Topps. So be sure to join me on February 25th at 2:30 Eastern Time. Speaking of WandaVision, check out this sweet set I got with the app. Anyway, back to WinterCon. The event takes place every day from February 25th to February 28th from 11:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, with special guests, events, and collectibles available for fans from the comfort of their homes. So don't miss it. Go check out Marvel Collect and follow me under the username Cosplay Chris. All right, let's talk WandaVision. Also a common sense disclosure, if you have not watched episode 6 or 7, you might want to because spoilers lay ahead. So yes, if you guys watched my previous WandaVision video on episode 5, it took a massive turn/twist. So we now have the introduction of Quicksilver, but not the Aaron Taylor Johnson Quicksilver. We have the Evan Peters Quicksilver. So episode 6 is entitled All New Halloween Spooktacular. Now, keeping with the theme of shifting eras for the sitcom look, this one really emulates Malcolm in the Middle. So it's that late 90s, early 2000s feel in episode 6. And I think the concept of doing that is brilliant. You know, we started out in the 50s, go 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, and then with episode 7, we've got the modern family era, but I'll get to that in a minute. First, let's talk about episode 6. So Wanda wants to spend Tommy and Billy's first Halloween together as a family, but Vision has other plans. Vision wants to kind of go out on his own because he's starting to realize that something is not right, and we saw that in episode 5. So he says he's on Halloween duty or trick-or-treat duty, but he's actually going walkabout to see if he can find some answers. So Wanda's brother offers to step in and be the cool uncle, and that's essentially what he is. And I love the fact that they call out each other's bullshit. The brother and sister dynamic is great, but they're also like, what happened to your accent? What happened to your accent? So Wanda keeps calling him out on certain things, as does he. Now, when they're at the gathering in the town square, there is a brief second where Wanda sees him as a corpse and riddled with bullets, like she saw Vision in the previous episodes where he was a corpse for a split second. It would have been really cool, and I don't know the contractual logistics of it, if they had have got Aaron Taylor Johnson for that one shot, sprayed with bullets like he was in Age of Ultron. I just thought it would have worked really well because that's what Wanda remembers. She doesn't remember Evan Peters being her brother. But I guess you could say he's the essence of Quicksilver. Now, whilst Vision's out exploring and trying to find answers, he walks past some people that literally are walking gifts. There's a lady hanging something up and her arm keeps going and repeating itself. And you actually see a tear coming out of her eye, which is just uber freaky. It's like she's trapped in her mind and she can't get out and she's stuck in this routine, this cycle. And Vision more and more sees a lot of people like this, to the point where some people aren't even moving in the town. So Vision actually then comes across Agnes, who's driving along, and she's kind of lost the plot a little bit, and she actually recognizes Vision and says, "You're dead and you were an Avenger," to which Vision replies, "What the hell's an Avenger?" He's lost his memory from a certain point. He doesn't remember the events of Age of Ultron. Cut to outside of the Hex, and there is a lot going on. Oop, and my microphone's gone. Oh no. That's better. So outside Westview, outside of the Hex, Hayward orders Monica, Darcy, and Jimmy to leave the base for disagreeing with his decision to attack Wanda, but they sneak back inside. They hack into his computer and discover that he has been tracking Vision's vibranium signature. And with that, Vision realizes that something is seriously wrong, and he realizes that he is essentially in this dome, this bubble, this Hex, and tries to escape, to which he does. He breaks free on the other side, but then he starts disintegrating with pieces of him being sucked back into the hex. Darcy is yelling out for everyone to help him, and Vision is essentially dying. One of Wanda and Vision's sons, Billy, realizes this and hears this in his head, tells Wanda. Wanda then flips out and then expands the hex so Vision won't die. And this woman does not fuck around. Darcy is handcuffed to one of the trucks and is also engulfed by the expanding hex. And boom, that is the end of episode 6 essentially. So again, all in the name of love, but we are seeing so many more things unravel and we don't know if Wanda's doing this or someone else is doing this. And then we go to episode 7, Breaking the Fourth Wall. Now this is where we have a Modern Family feel to this. Also The Office. A few people have mentioned that the dynamic and the camera work is very similar to The Office. I've only watched a few episodes of The Office, but as soon as I started watching episode 7, I immediately got mad Modern Family vibes. Again, brilliant. We've gone from Malcolm in the Middle to Modern Family now. That kind of awkward humor, and when they're talking directly to the camera, they're interviewing Wanda as if she's sitting down the couch and having a one-on-one with a camera crew. So at the beginning of this episode, things around the house start to glitch in front of Wanda. Furniture changes to certain era types of furniture, and Wanda is able to snap them back, but that shouldn't be happening. Why is this glitch happening? Why are these changes happening? So Vision wakes up to find the sword agents inside the boundary are now members of a circus. And he realizes Darcy from the spell, and she tells Vision about his death and the events that led to the current situation. So it's great. Vision and Darcy have this great dynamic in episode 7. They kind of team up, they get out of the circus, and they try to get more answers, but they're essentially stopped at this crossroads literally by road workers. Then we have school children crossing, so we don't know, is Wanda trying to delay them or is someone else trying to delay them? Keeping in mind, outside of the hex, Monica Rambeau is trying to cross into the hex with a specially designed vehicle. The vehicle does not make it through. It tries to break through, but it is half engulfed and set into an SUV vehicle. It's sent flying back. Monica escapes, but then she realizes she's got it in her herself to go through the hex. So she does. She breaks through, and we see this change in her. Something changes in her physically and mentally, and she does break through to the other side back into Westview. And when she passes through the static wall, she emerges with a seemingly heightened vision. And when Monica confronts Wanda, Agnes tells Monica to leave and takes Wanda to her house. Wanda then looks for the boys in the basement of Agnes's place and discovers a strange lair. Agnes introduces herself as Agatha Harkness, essentially revealing herself to be a witch, and it was essentially Agatha that sent in the Quicksilver decoy. Not to mention she killed the fucking dog. And then we have Agatha's new intro. It was her all along, and then we see all the dots joined together of her essentially having a hand in all the events that have taken place up until now. So that is episode 6 and 7, and I always knew something was up with Agnes, because if we cut to a few episodes prior, when Vision goes into Norm's mind and breaks him out for that split second, Norm says, "She's controlling me, she can't get out of my head, help me." He never said specifically that it was Wanda, and I always thought in the back of my head, it might be Agnes. And there we go, she reveals herself as Agatha Harkness. So I'm really loving where this series is going, Geeks and Geekettes. You know, I don't have the ins and outs and the know-how of all these characters, which is kind of a good thing. It's good to see it from a perspective of someone who's not familiar with all of these characters, especially a character like Agatha Harkness. I now have to do my research about that because I want to know more about the character. But in terms of what happens now, because I think there's 3 episodes left, correct me if I'm wrong, and apparently they're supposed to be an hour long each. Because essentially it's starting to wrap up the series. This is the climax now. Shit is going down. So that begs the question, will there be the sitcom outline that's still going to take place in the last 3 episodes? Or is it going to change format now? Because you do notice as well that the widescreen aspect ratio changes a lot in some of the episodes. Again guys, WandaVision is one of those things where you've really got to give it a crack. And in my previous video about episode 5, it's seriously not judging a book by its cover, giving it a chance. And the concept itself is so out there and so batshit crazy, yet it works. It's very clever. And it's essentially a piss take as well, which is great. And it includes Marvel characters, so I'm down for that. So I guess the biggest question is now, what is gonna happen in these last 3 episodes? And my next and final question, where the hell are the boys? Like, they weren't down in Agnes's basement / dungeon now. So is it gonna be when we see them again, they're fully grown adults, or they're being held somewhere in some sort of purgatory, or down in the dungeon? We just don't know it yet. So guys, I'm really loving WandaVision. It's really refreshing. I'm glad I gave it a chance, and I'm really hyped to see the last couple of episodes and see where it's gonna take us, and then if it's going to set up for season 2 or where it's going to go after that. So guys, drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. What are your thoughts on episode 6 and 7? Do you like the direction it's taking? What did you guys think of the Malcolm in the Middle / Modern Family / Office format of these 2 episodes? Guys, wherever you are in the world, have yourselves an absolute cracker of a day. I hope you're well, hope you're happy, be merry, be silly, and until next time, geeks, please always remember, cosplayers do it best.